next up to the stage, we have Adrien. Come on up. I find this a very interesting topic because API revolution, what does that mean? Are you going to tell us about it, or do you want to share it now, Adrien?
Yeah, thank you very much. So hello, everybody, and welcome, and thank you for being here. I'm really excited to present to you our story and then how the API revolution drives us to continuously adapt our organization to be at scale. So yeah, before starting, I would like to introduce myself very quickly. I'm Adrien Floch, and I'm the product owner of API adoption and enablement at Airbus since somehow 5 years now. And yeah, if you have any question after this presentation, or if you want to speak about API integration, please don't hesitate, add me on the LinkedIn, you have the link, and it would be a pleasure to share with you our experiences and so on. Okay, so before jumping on the API topic, a short introduction about Airbus, because most of the people knows very well the airlines when they take an aircraft, like Lufthansa, Air France, Emirates, EasyJet, and so on, just to give some names. But when you are flying, most of the time you are using an Airbus aircraft. So an aircraft which is manufactured by Airbus. So Airbus is an international pioneer in aerospace and industry. We are a leader in designing, manufacturing, and delivering aerospace products. So what does that mean by aerospace products? I mean commercial and military aircraft, helicopters, and satellites with their associated services. I think we all know all the debates regarding transport nowadays. And so Airbus is really investing in key technologies to preserve the future of our industry with decarbonization of aviation. So we are exploring game-changing concept aircraft like the Zero-E. So you can see some of those concepts here on the background, where we put hydrogen at the heart of the future aircraft. But nevertheless, we still need to do change now, but not just on the future generation. So we are also working on sustainable aviation fuel, hydrogen for sure, and to improve operation and air traffic management. Because today, when you fly from one airport to another, it's not a direct flight. We are following airways, and so we have to optimize. We have to improve that to do more and more a direct flight to be much more eco-efficient. Then last but not least, also to promote the importance of fleet renewal with latest generation aircraft to be more eco-efficient. Okay, so let's talk about APIs now. So at Airbus, we started our API program a bit more than 4 years ago now. And our vision is to provide products and services to its discovery and secured access to Airbus key data, processes, and events from anywhere, any device, and at any time. So this is our vision, and this vision is the same since a bit more than 4 years now. So we all know that in information system and even everywhere, we have APIs, and we have 1,000 APIs around us. But we have put this platform to avoid having too many APIs proliferating in the shadow. Because shadow APIs or unknown APIs in the company can sometimes lead to APIs not very well secured because, okay, we think that the URL is unknown, so okay, no need to really secure this API. Nobody will find it until someone find it and use it with a wrong ideas, wrong purpose. We can have also some APIs not providing the right value of they should provide more value if those APIs would be known. So it's important to those APIs to be known and consumed by many applications. We can have also APIs with lack of governance, and it's not supporting really the harmonization of API consumption in the company. So Today, after 4 years of program, we have on the platform 9 public APIs that are consumed by Airbus customers, like airlines. We have more than 400 APIs in production. We're supporting more than 90 projects or API providers, and we have more than 17,000 unique visitors, unique users who visited our portal, internal portal. In a company with a bit more than 130,000 employees, including 2,000 people in IT, I would say that it's quite a good result, because it means that we succeed in targeting the business, not only IT, but people that are outside the IT domains. Then, as you can see, we have just few public APIs, just 9 today, because so most of our API are supporting internal domains, because we have really many data, and it's really important to unleash those data and to make them available to the business to support their operation, to support the process, and so on. But nevertheless, we are more and more we have more and more this desire to let our customers to choose their experience. So either to use an application that Airbus will develop, or APIs to integrate the data and the service directly in their information system. So for sure, our number of APIs will continue to grow in the future, and we hope to have more and more. Then, okay, if you remember the title, the API revolution drives us to continuously adapt our organization to be at scale. So to explain why we have an API revolution and why we need to be at scale, and what we did and what has been our challenge and how we will solve that, I need to give some context. I think you can all see this aircraft that I have in my hand. It's a A350, so a long-haul aircraft. So imagine this aircraft on the taxiway at the airport. So you have this very huge body, long wings, 2 huge motors, more than 300 seats in the cabin, and for the biggest version, it's 350, with TVs and so on, with screens. And when you look very deeply in this aircraft, you can see that there are really many parts. And in fact, we are speaking here about millions of parts in an aircraft. And when we have to deal with million parts, everything starts to be much more complex in terms of design, logistics, to get all those parts, manufacturing, planning, maintenance, and so on. In the past, the major part was managed with papers. So the design was on papers, planning, and so on. Of course, it was a very long time ago. But more and more, we added applications to support the whole process. So today in Airbus, we have more than thousands of applications supporting this process. And what is really important to understand is that it's drastically increasing with automation and digital tools. Because now we have more and more robots to assemble the aircraft, also robots going around some parts of the aircraft, taking videos where we take the pictures and we compare them with 3D model in real time to see if there's any issue or quality issue. We have people on the final assembly line working more and more with tablets to have direct information on the tablets, and wearing also glasses with augmented reality. So it means on the body of the aircraft, they can see a virtual cable, so they know exactly where to put the cable, how to fix it, where to put the fixation, and so on, in order to be faster in this manufacturing process. So as you understood, we have more and more applications, and so it means more and more APIs. And APIs here are key to provide the information and to support the process, but also to ensure the digital continuity from the design to the delivery and the maintenance. So we have to make sure to be able to propagate the information through all the steps and from between all the application until we deliver the aircraft, and then we have to do the maintenance of the aircraft. So as you understood, it's a kind of API revolution for us because we have more and more APIs every day in the company. So a few years ago, before starting the program, API program, and also at the beginning, we were a center of excellence. So it means a team of specialists and experts focuses on the API integration, taking the needs from our business and delivering the solution. The main issue with this kind of organization is that we were a bottleneck, not agile, because we were not able to answer to all the demands because the team was not well sized enough. And yeah, then the business was complaining about IT, unfortunately, not being reactive enough and to be too slow. But the main issue is that sometimes the business was not waiting for us and developing the solution themselves, which in a way I can understand, but we are called those application business on tools, and it's an issue because most of the time there is a lack of governance, there is a lack of security, also a lack of support, and the application is not referenced in the application portfolio. So we don't know the dependencies with other application or with other backend system or search system. And yeah, it can very quickly be a huge issue in case of obsolescence of one source system or when there is an incident, because we don't have the visibility of where who is impacted and where is the issue. And so it will take much more time to recover. It can block the final assembly line and then delay the delivery of an aircraft. So it's really important for us to avoid that. So we need to change our operating model really in order to be able to scale up and to answer to all the demands from our business to avoid those business on tools. So we decided to switch for the the Center for Enablement, so the C4E model. It's an alternative model focusing on enabling success through federated teams and non-centralized knowledge ability. So we provide services and guidance and tools to enable the business and their IT counterparts to design, develop, publish, and maintain their own API. Okay, so we implemented this model, and very quickly we realized that the business and their IT counterparts, unfortunately, had sometimes difficulties in understanding the value of APIs, API management, and even sometimes not really knowing what is really an API. So to overcome those difficulties, we have spent a lot of effort on evangelization to acculturate the business to the value of APIs, the fact that an API can reduce the time to market, we can better reach our customers, build new kind of services and revenue for the company, foster innovation, and break the silos. But okay, explain what is an API and what is the value is good, but the idea was also to change the mindset, because very often the business, sometimes they come and say, okay, here is my use case, and okay, I want to do integration, so let's do batch, copy and paste somehow the data from this system to this one, do file transfer with Excel files or XML files. So all the time it's kind of old architecture. Of course, sometimes it's the way that the thing that we have to implement. But with APIs, we can be much more near real time with event-based architecture, APIs, and so on. So we wanted also to change this mindset. So during the last few years, we did many presentations, and we are still doing many presentations, acculturation workshop, and gamification as well. We did a game card, so you can see here on the presentation a few cards of these game cards, where each card is an API. So in the deck, you have Airbus APIs or public APIs like Google APIs, Uber, parking status, flight tracker, open banking API. We could have also maybe API. It's not the case. The API presented just before in the presentation. And then the objective is to ask to small team to pick up few cards and imagine an application with the API that is written on each card. And in many cases, the business succeed in imagining innovative application. And sometimes it was even quite fun, the result, because of course, when you select APIs in this game card, sometimes it doesn't match. So you have to be really open-minded or innovative to imagine an application. So quite fun. But what is the most important here is that they understood how API can foster innovation and break the silos by using data or services coming from different domains. And this is really the most important. So this game card is really efficient to do the acculturation. But nevertheless, we don't change mindset with just few leaflets, stickers, video presentation, acculturation workshop. It's really a long and hard work that takes a lot of time. And after 4 years, we are still doing that today. Because the company is huge, so we always have people to convince. And it's important to identify in the different given domains who are really convinced and capitalize on them, because they are the ones that will help to make the things evolve and convince the others that are not yet convinced. Because it's easier to be convinced by a colleague who knows really the issues, the difficulties, the work, what has to be done, the operational things, instead of me who is doing somehow marketing. Okay, so we spend a lot of time on evangelization. A second issue that we had at the beginning, we put a lot of effort to put in place the platform, and somehow at the beginning we forced the team to come on our platform and to develop on our platform with our technology. And we encountered some difficulties in finding the right skills. We had to train people. It's like when you develop in Java and then we ask to a developer to go on Python or Go. It will need some adaptation. The logic is quite the same, but it will need some adaptation. And here it's the same. Developers need adaptation, sometimes to learn things on our solution. Then it was also a difficulty to keep the knowledge and to keep them for two reasons. The first one is that we are now in a C4E model. So the developers are very often developers of a project. They are not especially dedicated at 100% on API. And then it means that when the project ends, they will go probably on another project, but not sure that they will develop APIs. And then when we need to update APIs or to do the maintenance, very often it's someone else. So we have to train again. And we had some issues. So to solve this, we finally decided to let the developers to use the framework of their choice. So they can develop their APIs in Spring, in Node.js, or on an AWS Lambda in Python, for example. And then our role is to automate and enforce the governance, the standards, the security, the publication of the API, thanks to our API gateway, and to provide also all the consultancy regarding the architecture, regarding the design of the API, the interface contracts, the best practices, and so on and so on. So our main objective is really to standardize the APIs and to harmonize the API experience within the company, to show so how you consume an API in Airbus is always the same. You go on the API portal, you discover the API, you request access, then the authentication mechanism will be all the time the same. We do the translation to another authentication mechanism to the backend if needed. And then the documentation will have always the same format and so on. So we harmonize the API experience in the company. Okay, so with the C4E model, we had quickly good results, let's be honest, because we had been able to double our number of APIs every year. So the first year we started something like with 50 APIs, the second year 100, third year 300, and now fourth year and a bit more 400 APIs. So a bit less this last year, but unfortunately we have been kicked a bit by the COVID situation. So it's a success, but nevertheless we decided to adapt a bit and went more for an hybrid model. So the C4E is still our main model and the one that we promote, but in some cases when the need is urgent and there is maybe sometimes some business logic to implement, or the IT counterpart doesn't have the right skills, we decide to develop for them. So it means that we come back in a COE model, but it's just for few use cases, and it's really not, we do it just for few use cases. What we promote the most is the C4E model. We are doing that since three years now, and it's working well. And I don't think that we'll change it in the coming months or even year. I didn't speak. I spoke mainly about the operating model, but we changed also a lot our organization internally. Because at the beginning we invested a lot on the development of the platform. Then we invest a lot on the evangelization. After we decided to develop our own portals, so we had to onboard to have an API portal team. Then we decided to do a few developments. So we got developers to develop few use cases. And now, yeah, so it's what we did. So we changed a lot. We changed a lot the organization internally. So every 6 months at the beginning and after every year. So globally to have a successful API program and be able to answer to all the demands, it's very important to be able to adapt very quickly the organization of the team, but also the operating model. There is no issue to test a kind of organization and to change it if it's needed. But what is really, really key, it's to be agile and to change if it's needed to answer to the challenges and fit to the strategy that we want to push. Okay, so here is the end. I don't know if we have some time for the questions.
I think just quickly, I'd like to know, and I'm sure other people want to know, did you open source that API game? Did you publish it anywhere that we could see it?
No, it's not open source because there are many Airbus API inside this game code. But yeah, I mean, I shared the ID, so yeah. It's really working well, this game card, to acculturate the business and really understand the value of APIs. So yeah, don't hesitate to build one with some public APIs, but also APIs that you are developing in your company.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much, Adrien.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.